This is what Bitcoin price looked like the very last time I saw it. I buried my dad on Thursday, had celebration of life events over the weekend, and here's why this video will be valuable for you, both new viewers and returning viewers. You're going to see my personal checklist on how I both get oriented in the charts, how I make a game plan on what permission or what risk levels do the whales who are moving price, right? Ever since 2019, it's just traditional finance and perhaps countries trading desk, and a mixture of all that together is moving price. It behaves very differently. So I'm going to assess the risks of one group trying to push price the way they want it versus what is the posturing and what must be done in order for those plans to happen. And you're going to hear me think out loud. I'll give precise price paths near the end of the video because it's going to take me a while to get oriented. I'll start with the monthly, the weekly, things to that effect, and you should try to take note on if I do something that you don't do, right? Here's how you'll know if it works or not and whether or not you can incorporate it. So it's not just like, ooh, who's this guy over here? He does this, I should do it too. No, you'll be able to back test me or forward test me because these three price paths, I'm coming in with no knowledge of news events, price, nothing. So if one of my top three price paths are exceptionally, like it's actually what price did, not just some straight line over, Elliott wave people, I'm not going to do that. If one of these three happen, then you could say, you know what, maybe I should do, XYZ that he did and I don't regularly do. So with no further ado, let's go get some Bitcoin. I need to take off that old price behind me. Here we go. All right. The only hint that I'll give myself is I've made my community calendar, and at the bottom of them when I release them, sorry, YouTube tiers, I haven't pushed that out to you yet. I'm sorry. I need to do that. But Discord, I've posted this. But it looks like next week, Wednesday the 24th, down at the bottom where you can see my cursor kind of moving there, it looks like that might be where price will get continuation. So mentally think 24th, okay, is where if you're going to get a breakout, that would make a lot of sense. Or confirmation of a breakout, potentially. Breakout on Tuesday. What else? Which means Thursday and Friday this week could be a fake out or a setup for the breakout. So that's I'm kind of looking at the time axis down here. These events are just, so core PCE next Friday is probably the biggest one. There's CPI is usually the second biggest. FOMC is the biggest economic event that moves markets, including crypto, whether you want to believe it or not, it does. I didn't know it or believe it for a long time until a few members in the community made me realize, oh crap, I was wrong. Like dead wrong. Or just dead ignorantly unaware. I was probably more unaware as opposed to being wrong, but same thing. All right, now I'm going to start with monthly. Get rid of these drawings. Why did I have that here? And again, I haven't cleaned up my charts, so we're dealing with the dirty chart here. Okay. The first thing I'm noticing on the monthly scale is that, the last bull run, it started over the same type of shape. Most returning viewers will know my thoughts on that. There is a weak ankle down here that Bitcoin has because it did not respect the big line that it needs to respect in order to project itself or catapult itself into a raging bull market. It wasn't. And it's not just a Bitcoin thing. It's an all price does this type of thing. Unless it's the middle of a stock market 12-year run where everything is a V-shape, but I'm not talking about corrections in a bull market. I'm talking about the end of a bull market and you're potentially getting out. So the stock market, neither the stock market or, even the price of gold or oil or black market testicles, it usually will respect the weekly 10 EMA a little bit more. And there was zero respect, like literally zero. So I would say that, yeah, we've kind of confirmed a breakout of this on a macro basis. I could definitely see a retest before going up. So I kind of had this here from a week ago, but it makes sense still. So on the monthly, this is the monthly chart. It would make absolutely beautifully perfect sense for this to come back down, retest a bullish breakout even lower, right? So this was under 10K. Is this my main guess? No, this is not my main guess. I'm not analyzing yet. I'm simply getting oriented with what's happening. So this month, I mean, getting back above these monthly lines here is going to be a big deal. And it might not happen. Because if this month flips green, I mean, hell, I'm going to be bullish the whole rest of the month and all of next month. And I'll be looking for a backfill in June. So this is one main idea that I have. Because of the nature of this is a pretty big breakout. And if I went down to the 1 day, it already retested this sucker, right? I'm on the monthly. So that wick is several days in there. So the daily has gone like this. So if price, even on the 1 minute chart, gets above this area here, let me mark it off. If you see price anytime in 2023 above 29,250, price is very likely gonna get hot within 45 days. Very likely a backfill of another month, so you'd have a couple weeks, maybe even a red weekly candle or something. But I would be looking for higher lows on the 4-hour chart and probably trying to play those along if price can get back above there. And even next month, if it gets back above there, like it's the same line because yeah, it's the same one. So I will go ahead and mark this off as key idea. Be bullish if price gets above this bad boy. And we can do all right, now I'm going to go to the weekly. I have a feeling that the bottom of these candles, and maybe actually the width of this candle here, this is the week of Monday, the last Monday in March. I think this is going to be a playground for a fake out. If there's going to be a fake out up and then it goes down, which kind of looks like price might want to correct down a little bit more. Go ahead and hit like, returning viewers, to help me out. But new viewers, don't hit anything yet until I show you what I'm doing here. Don't just hit like to be nice. If you don't like it yet, then don't hit like. I want to earn your likes. But if you stick around, I'm going to get it. And especially if you follow up on Friday and you see what I'm doing here is working, or it worked, then you can go back and then like this video, even if it takes till Friday or Sunday. But new viewers, I am here to earn your subscription and earn you as a sub and even every like. Okay. That's okay. Let me zoom out on the weekly and stop clicking buttons that I don't need. I'm going to use my magnet tool and I'll draw a little ditty from here. So that wick has not been fully retested. All right, so this is where things can start getting a little dirty to the downside, is if Bitcoin cannot hold between that wick and these candle bodies. If it lets this go, it's going to go down. It's going to retest this line. I mean, it's probably going to retest this line. Or at bare minimum, it would be destined to hit here. So let me go ahead and label that. And again, I'm making a game plan. I'm not making a guess or an analysis yet. I'm trying to figure out what can I analyze. That's down at, ooh, that's lower than I thought. I wouldn't have guessed that was 21K. Wow. All right, so to the downside, I think Bitcoin's pretty safe as long as it's staying above this area here. It's a big zone. And it could play in there for a while. You can get some weird fake outs, but that would be my bullish, area. Now I need some like trend lines though. I need some non-horizontals. Okay, I'm going to go like this and connect these lows. It's going to be a little tough. This was so rounded. I'm going to have to do it like that. So what I'm doing here is I'm making it a rotated rectangle so that the bottom of this hits here, and then it hits this, this wick up here, so I can make it a little thinner. I don't know which wick that the programs, the algos will base this off of, So I'm going to do one for each. And that essentially makes the width or the thickness. Okay, so now zoom way in there. It's not quite perfect, but this should be a little bit lower. Maybe I can make it perfect. Hold on. It might not let me. Oh, that's close enough. All right, that's really close, actually. Okay. Ooh, yeah. If price goes below both of them, it's gonna scream down. It's going to hit 21K. Yeah. So price needs to stay above this red line, essentially. Now you could, and if by whenever this is, so July. This is July 4th, American Independence Day. If price is still roughly around between 25 and 27, it's probably going to go sideways for extended periods because you're going into yellow triangle territory. And yellow triangles on my chart typically mean a bunch of nothing is getting ready to happen. So it would extend a bunch of nothingness until you break out above that line. So it'd be here. So you could get a bunch of indecision for 56 days. Here, let me do it like this. So if price goes down here, bounces, can't get above a breakout zone of whatever, I haven't labeled that yet, and then comes back below, uses this as support, it's gonna use this as resistance. And that would happen around early July. And even if it filled out this triangle, it's still indecisive until it gets above roughly 29,250, I think is a monthly line. And yeah, it could be another 2 months of sideways. Going into fall or autumn in the Northern Hemisphere. Okay, but we're looking at price more immediately. Honestly, I think price needs to hit here. I don't know. So honestly, I would say on a timing basis, let me go down to the daily chart. I mean, price really looks destined to hit this somewhere. So I would put a circle here. Not for sure exactly where and when, but just in this little zone, I'm kind of feeling it. Right there. And I'll label this for you. So the bottom of this is 24.3 and the top of it is 25.4. 24.3. 25,400. That's the green. And now I can't label this one down here because it's ascending. So the price is changing the whole time like this, right? You're going to have to see how I did that and set that up. But price looks pretty destined to hit between there. I think that's the next move. Okay, now what would negate that? When would I change my main guess? But as of now, that is my main guess for this week. So my second guess would be that it gets, quote unquote invalidated, but simply what I call it is, it's the probability threshold is crossed. So as long as price is below this area here, it is probable that that circle is going to be hit before this is hit. So before 29,250 is hit, like that's simply not gonna be probable before 28,150 or so is crossed. So as of now, I will maintain that this is my main guess, and I will I will switch number 2 and number 1 essentially, if price can get above here on something more than a 1 hour candle. I would have to really zoom into the 1 minute to see if it's bouncing or then getting rejected and getting ready to fall back down. But in that area, basic /common support and resistance rules on the very, very micro charts. It could look really aggressive, but then come down on the 1 minute chart and get rejected, and oh shit, it's coming down. So this is a big line. So if you're trying to be bullish on a high, lower, low, high, low, lower, high, lower, low, if you're trying to be bullish off that, I mean, you're fighting the trend. First off, this is the daily trend. The daily trend is now down. You have a lower, it is a no trend. That's a higher high and a lower low. So you have a daily no trend. But I sure wouldn't be bullish on the daily off of a lower low at all. I'd be looking So if price goes over that line, I would say it's going to get trapped right there in this red. So I'll put a red triangle here. I don't see price getting above that all this week. As of now, in its current posturing. That absolutely could change. But right now, it is my main guess. But this is why I get 3 guesses. Because a probability threshold is very clear. The probabilities will flip if this line is crossed and used as support. It flips instantly. And the closer price gets to it, the more and more closer to 50-50 you are, right? Once it's landing on it with no support, no resistance, it's about a 50-50. But I would flip at that point. Does that make sense? So when the charts tell you to flip. Don't be trying to follow people who say, it's still going down to 11K and, here's all the reasons why and making a case for. No, if the charts tell you to flip, just flip. Stop trying to fight it. Just go with it. You want to trade the way price is going. You don't want to put your will, you can't will Bitcoin unless you're the king of Bitcoin like me. But even me, sometimes it doesn't work, right? All right, let me go look at a different chart here. Like I said, I haven't cleaned up my charts or anything. I might as well mark off the weekly and all that stuff here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down these open lines. I'm going to mark off the weekly so that when I'm on the 5-minute chart and stuff and I'm giving you exact price paths, so weekly's down here. Monthly is way up here. And I make my monthly lines all the way large, 4 point. And then I'll go ahead and go down to a smaller time frame so I can label it. I'll put a W up or a M up here for monthly. I can see price ranging somewhere between the weekly and monthly. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, the quarterly, the 3-month has time left. So that is still labeled correctly with that yellow line, right? And the daily's nice and green, so I don't think I need to mark that off. It's kind of late in the day and it's nice and green. So the weekly, the quarterly, and the monthly are the most important lines. So right now the weekly is coming in at, you can see right behind me, at 26,830. I guess some people have asked me, can you say the price? Because I'm driving. And then the quarterly is at 28,250, and the monthly open is way up here. Wow, so that was all set up. I think this is gonna have to correct a little bit now. Roughly 29,500. Yeah, this month is gonna close red most likely. I don't think it can recuperate from this posturing on the low time frames. Now, could next month be green and go above 33K? Yeah, absolutely. But this month it's destined to close red with an exceptionally high probability. So again, what I'm doing is I'm deducing. I'm making rules like this is how price moves. So it very likely won't do this, very likely won't do that, right? Because big money, they have risk analysis going on. They're not going to fight other big money, right? Now, do they want to jump on a trend before it's a trend with the idea that big money will go jump on that? Yeah, but I'm not seeing any suspicion of that in the charts. This is looking pretty bearish. If there's any jumping before other people jump, it's probably going to be a sell button. That's what I'm looking at. I'll get rid of the 4 hour and stuff since I'm not trading today. Okay, Is this the same line as I had on the other one? I hope it's really close, because if it's not, then I'm gonna have to change it. 28,150, 28,250. Okay, so it's the $100. Okay, good. So it is the same one. I was gonna say, this is a pretty key line, because what I'm viewing on this macro channel that goes back since last November, its price has gone under. It got rejected from this that we had on the channel long before, right? And it hit the exact intersection, which I probably made a video saying it has the habit of hitting where two important lines cross. I don't remember saying that, but it's possible that I did. However, these lines have been here for quite a while, right? Months and months and months. So got rejected from here, just like all the other times. You go up to the top, go up again, and then you start going down to the bottom. So if you want to see this, there you go. Up to the top, up again, up again, up again, and up again, and then down to the bottom. Right? And the time before that, oh no, there was no time before that. That's the most common way to get rejected. A lot of times at the top of the channel, it's not just, ooh, the big short. On a macro channel, that's not how it works. It usually hovers there for months. Which, was that months? Nope, that's only a month. Stayed up there for an entire month. So since that's happened, it's gotten rejected perfectly from there, bounced from the point of control, got rejected perfectly from there, another great rejection, and then a failure pattern. Let's zoom way in here. And got perfectly rejected from the top of the point of control, went below, did a juke around this line here, acted like it wanted to go lower, so this was a little fake out, but it got no continuation, so it's not going to be a dip and rip. It had its chance right there. It needed to get back above that line. So what I'm thinking here, now that you've gone below the point of control after getting rejected very nicely from the top of the macro channel, you've done, and then get rejected. It's like a ladder. Look, boom, bounce, boom, boom, bounce. Right from the bottom of this line, like reaction, the point of control reaction, boom, the reaction gets stopped, boom, reaction. It didn't get stopped by anything. It lost momentum and then got beat down at that point right there. Do you see that? That's called a failure rejection pattern. It's a big failure rejection. It's how you get tricked in the charts, because there was no reason to be bearish right there at all. Unless you're the person who knew you're getting ready to sell with tens of millions of dollars across multiple exchanges. That was some pretty tricky price action right there. That's a big failure pattern. But I mean, how long would you have been tricked with my lines? One day and 16 hours until you got the rejection. So you would kind of be in a day where you're like, I don't know, maybe no trading for a day. Well, until you got that signal. Perfect. Okay, I'm not going to finalize my thoughts yet, but I don't think this line will be touched again this whole week. That will be my third guess if price gets back above 28,250. It'll be my second or third guess, but that's definitely not my main guess. I'm going to be slightly more bearish this week, But I will be cautiously bearish because sideways can really tear up your account. I would prefer not to be bearish until that happens. Like, you could get so torn up here, paying fees over and over, and just nothing is happening, and it just keeps going to your stop out, then going the right way, then going, you know, and then you get back in, it does the same thing, just do. Honestly, I think sideways might be my first guess. Let's see how long this is going to be. Like, honestly, I'd hate to say it, folks, but I think sideways is going to be my main guess. I think this yellow triangle is where it's staying all week. That is my main guess for now. I might change my guess, but as of now, that is my first and primary guess. The whole week right there. With perhaps a little bit of visitation outside, you know, visiting hours, you know, in jail time, just get out of jail a little bit or whatever, recess. But in general, just it's 95% of price action living within here for the whole week is my main guess. So let's see if there's anything in the, okay, well, let me make sure it aligns with this over here. Sideways for 9 days, then it still has 10 more days to get down there. Yep. All right. It does fit. This looks like a sideways week. Ugh. Well, I wasn't really ready to trade a lot this week anyway, so I'm okay with that. I don't think I'm going to miss anything. All right. I'm going to start with Tesla on, and the reason I'm doing this, crypto folks, is because this gives me an idea of what's going on. It's the same algos that run the show in Bitcoin. I'm telling you, it's the same groups, the same like whale money. It's not crypto whales. This is like banking people in countries. All right. Still not above that origin line. So a lot of people without origin lines, they think this is super bullish, but I know better. It is not bullish until it gets above that line, period. Which means it could go sideways for a while too. So far, Apple agrees with sideways. Microsoft has some room to go up, but it has room to go sideways as well. Oh boy. This is gonna be a boring week, I think. And again, I've had all these lines here for months and months. So if you think I'm actively retrofitting this to look pretty, I'm not. It's just price does this. These are called origin lines, and they're my baby. You won't find them anywhere else. Unless I've been copied by this point, which people should copy me. It works. Sideways with a bearish lean. A strong bearish lean on this one, but I think the other blue chip stocks will keep that floating up, unless the blue chip stocks tank. All right, I'm going to look at the Euro and Dixie. So this has permission to go sideways. That's it. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to go up anytime soon because, well, actually, it might. Let me look at the time frame. No, it's not going to last up anytime. No, not in the next 10 days. So this agrees with sideways. Man, I was hoping for something more exciting, but it's the same checklist. Sometimes this checklist derives very bullish stuff or very bearish things, or the idea of volatility is getting ready to happen. I don't know which way. I can't tell because we're at the probability threshold. It's just dancing around the line, right? But right now, this looks like it's going to be boring as crap. Huh. So this shape here means, let me look at that on the daily. I don't know. It looks like they want to reverse this out of this hole on a lower low and lower high. This little curvature here and breaking above the local highs and closing above that. So you broke one, two, here, let me make that clear. So if you think of this is the daily chart, this is Dixie, which means the dollar, how strong the dollar is versus a composite of 6 other currencies like the euro. Euro being the main comparison point, essentially, the heaviest weighted data point on the versus chart. But local high, local high, local high, rounded-ish bottom, and then you closed above 3 local highs and on a 2-candle surge. So you can get a pullback down to here, and it's probably still going to go up. So, but I think this means sideways until it goes up. So if Bitcoin really drops, it's going to be late June to early July. It's going to be a breakout of that triangle. Or if it breaks down from this Dixie, then Bitcoin could really scream up in the midsummer. But this is saying this looks like it wants to go up, but slowly. This shape means like that they recruited people to be bullish on the dollar value. That isn't that, like, I don't mistake that shape usually, and sometimes they break down if world economic events change, but this is initiative. So I think it's going to want to establish itself and go up. So I would say Bitcoin's one over the long term, over the let's say next 8 weeks. I think it's going to want to break down a little bit. So that means it would fall out of this channel because it's already close to the bottom of the channel. And if it breaks down at the bottom of the channel, it's going down a lot lower, which would be that red line from the beginning, right? All right, I'm ready to give you my guesses. I'll go to the 1 hour chart. First guess, and I'll say it, you'll watch me save them. Make out Thursday, Friday, and then comes back to the triangle on Saturday. All right, I think something like this. See, Wednesday's a dead day. Tuesday. Up. That's almost a whole week, even though I'm on the 1 hour chart. There you go. See that? 8 days. I don't think price is going to do jack shit, everybody. That is my main guess. It might want to poke a little bit lower, but something like, if I can make it super specific. And then it'll do like that. All right, and I'll make a folder. Watch me make the folder. Check this out. Boom. Guesses May 15th. Second guess for this week. Let me kind of mark off the week here. So this goes to Sunday. I'm going to guess down for the second one. I think that's the second most likely. So if it goes down, it means it will have gotten a failure rejection. Or no, it's already above that. Ooh, I don't know if this will be my second or third guess. It's probably tied. I think sideways is by far the most likely, though, everybody. No, my second guess will be up, but not long-lived up. Yeah, because it's already crossed that slope line. And if you want to check out what I'm talking about, this line here, it's a breakout of a slope line, and it kind of already retested it. So I think the third most likely is down in in the very short term time frame for this week. But I think it might want to do something tricky, convince a lot of people to be bullish by breaking higher highs on some many time frames, but not this key trend line where sellers will all kind of step in at the same time. Not necessarily to defend, but to be more cautious. Somewhere like this. So I could see it. My second guess is it hits 29K, or around 29K. It might bump its head at 28.5, but between 25 and 29 is my second guess. But then I think it's gonna slide. It's gonna get rejected by this guy and slide back in here over the weekend. So this would be Sunday. So by then it would be back in the triangle like that. So Wednesday's kind of a dead day. And it might want to hang on to higher lows before the weekend, like that. Is that tradable to the upside? 4%? Yeah, but man, I don't think it's good reason to be bullish. So, I shouldn't have erased those. I'm going to add those as my guess, my second guess. Okay, so I think I know how it would go down. Wednesday, this dead zone here, I think it's gonna slide. I think it will want to do a fake out. No. Honestly, if it goes down, I think it'll get rejected by the bottom. So on Wednesday, since it lost momentum today, Wednesday's dead. I bet it goes something like this. Let me redraw it. Like that. That's my third guess. And the reason I think that is because Thursday, Friday, I think it could be a nice fake out to prepare for next week. Because they would want, if they want to push things up one more time, they're going to want to dip it down. The big bad days with money, they're going to want to send Bitcoin price down just a little bit on spot. So selling real Bitcoin to make the price of real Bitcoin go down, but they would already have their long orders on futures, which is casino chips, literally. In each exchange is a casino on futures, and they would dip that down, get their orders grabbed, and then the same money that they freed up in dollars because they sold Bitcoin to make Bitcoin go down, they would use that freed up money to then buy Bitcoin even faster and all at once so that their long orders go in profit. That's honestly a really good play. And if you work for a country trading desk or a quant firm or whatever, and you need more ideas like this, you can get a hold of me on Discord. We can talk about it privately. And if that ever happened, I'd probably have to quit being on YouTube. I would definitely have to quit being on YouTube. Yeah, that's a smart whale play. And whales are smart. So that looks, that could get really choppy. So that's my third guess. Here we go. And what color should I not make it? I'll make that pink. boom. Therefore, for the rest of this week, I am confident that one of those 3 price paths is going to happen. And I don't know if there's anything that I missed in my checklist, but usually I mess around with, actually, you know what? I am missing stuff. I need to make sure these EMAs are somewhere. Hold on. Hopefully it doesn't undo everything I just did, but you can see I pretty much didn't use any indicators. I think I can tell what price can and can't do this week. I don't see it really getting too volatile unless it's down. But let me do one more thing here. I did forget some key stuff. So key items. And it will be very fast. Just the major big kahuna EMAs on a clean chart. And if one is in play, then I'll go to my my more elegant chart with the channel and all that, and I will integrate that in here. Oop, I'm up top on the top right now. Let me throw on the let's go like this. Weekly 200 is in play, but that's below price. I need to put that on. Where's the weekly 200? That's way down here. No, that aligns with the third one. You see that? A big bounce off of it. Booyah. Damn. I might move that up to my... Now I'll keep it as my third guess. But see how that would support it? Okay, so that... Yeah. There you go. There's that one. That supports my other guess, or one of my guesses. The daily 21... Yeah, that's kind of in line with everything. It doesn't help or deny. Ooh, what is this? The weekly 55? Ooh. So the weekly 55 is the same as the... Or no, it's not. 55 is this... The daily 55 same as the weekly 10. Honestly, that could be a nice bounce. Well, the last time it did this, it did bounce, but it maintained this lower high structure. I mean, shit, this could be about what we're ready to see here. But this is much longer than a week or two, right? And again, that was coronavirus, so I wouldn't expect like the same exact thing. But this is the same line, and the last time it did this, again, I'm not trying to directly make guesses because it happened in the past. I think new things will happen from 2019. As a data point, not to lean on too heavily, last time it maintained a lower high structure, so that kind of supports what I'm going for too. I don't think we're going to see volatility to the upside off this. I don't think it's going to happen. What other big EMAs are out there? Oh yeah, that's what we just had. Weekly 55. Ooh, what is this one? Weekly 21. So that aligns with the third price path going down aggressively and taking longs there. I mean, I'm gonna keep my guesses. Yeah, I think that's all I need. So hopefully you learned something here. I started with the monthly, mark stuff off that's in play, right? So the whole idea is I'm gonna start calling this what's in play analysis or what's in play trading. More like analysis. And actually, you can do it for trading too, I guess. But it's what's in play, WIP. I'm just making this up now, but I think that's what I'm going to name it. Because if something's not in play, like the monthly 10 or whatever, it's too far away, I don't need it on my chart, right? But if something is definitely in play and it's a little off, well, then I need to say, well, we're probably going to have a dip below my main line here, right? If this weekly 21 and the weekly 55, if they were down lower, I'd say, you know what? It's going to come below here. But now it has a chance to get trapped up here or to get rejected from the bottom of this. But since they're both supporting here, I think any down move people are going to take longs and they're going to spike it up at least one more time, perhaps into a lower high, most likely into a lower high, but it might not be. It might race all the way back up to the top. However, that would go beyond this week. So I'm not going to make those guesses beyond this week, but that could happen. But I think the week would end about right here anyway. That makes sense? So I think everything that I did here is good practice for you, whether you're crawling out from under a rock, you know, if you have a loss in your family or something, you just need to take time off. This can serve to serve you as a little guide, and I'll try to make tags to show you each step that I did. Hey, here's the weekly, here's the monthly, but maybe go through this one more time if you found this helpful. And if you don't know if it's going to be helpful yet, I would put on your calendar, mark your calendar for Friday the 19th or Saturday the 20th, whatever. Set an alarm or something for Saturday. Like, go check to see how he did. I'm serious, because you're not going to know if I did a good job or not unless you go back and check. And if you're a new viewer, yeah, I'm kind of like baiting you into come back to my channel, giving more views, but I'm serious here. That wasn't my intent. I want you to know and to confirm, the things that I did here, did this prove to be helpful? And it's possible. You know, I get embarrassed and a huge economic event happens and freaking Bitcoin goes to 30K because Argentina's currency fails, which... And the people say, we're not taking the government money anymore. The third time in 50 years you fail us. That could make Bitcoin go to 60K in a week, right? So I could get embarrassed by a major economic event, a global economic, or a big bump. Like, knock on wood, I hope this shit doesn't happen. But if something like that could send Bitcoin way down, way below that channel. Like, it doesn't give the time of day to the weekly 21. So I think the only ways that I could be totally wrong here is if something war related, God forbid, or some global economic event, or battery technology news or whatever, something huge would have to happen is my main guess. But if I'm way off and nothing like that happens, then I messed up. But we're not going to know until at least Friday the 19th or Saturday the 20th. So I would challenge you to come back and see how I did, and we'll see you till then.